not committing to anything, saying that the meeting will be held, agenda will be prepared, and up until then there is no point of speculation. All right, Manohar back on the telecast with me. Manohar, आप कह रहे थे यहाँ पे पूरा अब ये तय हो गया है कि एनडीए अलायंस एकजुट है, यूनाइटेड है और गवर्नमेंट बनेगी.
देखिए बिल्कुल, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री तमाम घटक दलों के साथ, जिनमें चंद्रबाबू नायडू, नीतीश कुमार, साथ में राष्ट्रपति के आवास पर राष्ट्रपति भवन जाएंगे. वहां पर 745 में वो अपना समर्थन पत्र सरकार बनाने को देंगे, दावा पेश करेंगे और उसके बाद खबर यह है कि हो सकता है कि 8 जून को प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी अपने तीसरे टर्म का जो है वो शपथ लें, क्योंकि उसके बाद खबर यह है कि 10 तारीख को प्रधानमंत्री को आउट ऑफ इंडिया जाना है. तो ऐसी स्थिति में सारे प्रोसेस पूरा करना पड़ेगा. जहां तक कॉलिशन गवर्नमेंट का सवाल है, चंद्रबाबू नायडू की बात है या नीतीश कुमार की बात है, जहां तक कैबिनेट में बर्थ यानी कि कैबिनेट में सीट शेयरिंग का सवाल है कि किस तरह से कैबिनेट में उनको कुर्सियां दें, ये सभी फार्मूला तय हो चुका है. इंतजार करना पड़ेगा औपचारिक तौर पर कि चंद्रबाबू नायडू को कितने लोग जो है शपथ लेंगे, नीतीश कुमार की ओर से कितने लेंगे. लेकिन जो हमारे सोर्सेज बतला रहे हैं कि चंद्रबाबू नायडू चाहते हैं कि 4 कैबिनेट मंत्री उनकी पार्टी से बने. नीतीश कुमार भी चाहते हैं. वहीं नीतीश कुमार ये भी चाहते हैं कि बिहार में स्पेशल पैकेज दिया जाए या बिहार को स्पेशल राज्य का दर्जा दिया जाए. साथ ही साथ चिराग पासवान भी कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर चाह रहे हैं. वहीं
Anand is there with me. Anand, we're getting to know now all these big leaders, big and small, of the India Alliance. They've arrived at the India Alliance meeting at the AICC headquarters. Key amongst them is Muslim League's Siabali Tangar. There is Congress leader Nasir Hussain who has arrived there. Devarajan who has arrived over there. Sanjay Singh of Aam Aadmi Party has also arrived there. There is Dipankar Bhattacharya who's arrived over there. Sanjay Singh, I already said, he is now at the AICC headquarters. Kalpana Soren, the wife of the jailed Hemant Soren, has also arrived at the AICC headquarters. Abhishek Banerjee of the TMC, nephew of Mamata Banerjee, is also over there. Jairam Ramesh is already over there. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have also arrived at the AICC headquarters. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is also over there. Tejashwi Yadav has already arrived. Raghav Chadda, we just heard him. He has arrived at the AICC headquarters. We have Mr. Yechuri, who has also arrived over there. Sharad Pawar has also arrived over there. Sanjay Raut speaking right now. Let's listen in.
आणि ते काय फक्त भाजपचेच नाही आहे, ते सगळ्या पक्षांचेच आहेत. त्यांनी आधीसुद्धा काँग्रेसबरोबरही काम केलेलं आहे गठबंधनमध्ये. त्यांनी BJP बरोबर अटलजींच्या बरोबर काम केलं आहे गठबंधनमध्ये. ते आहेतच ना. पण मोदींना गठबंधन सरकार चालवण्याचा किती अनुभव आहे. मोदींचा हम करे सो कायदा आहे. आता त्या हम करे सो कायद्यामध्ये हे 2 जी व्यक्तिमत्व आहेत ही किती फिट बसतात ते पाहावं लागतं.
सरकार स्थापन होईल पण किती दिवस काम करेल सरकार,
किती काळ सरकार चालेल असं तुमचा.
बघा, मोदीजींना तिसऱ्यांदा शपथ घेण्याचा विक्रम प्रस्थापित करायचा आहे. तो त्याने विक्रम प्रस्थापित केला की पुढे पाहू.
उद्धव साहेब येणार होते, काय झालं? उद्धव साहेब येणार होते.
तिने घेतला सकाळी, माडी येऊन गेली. मराठी पण घेतलाय, विनय आली लिहिल्या.
इंडिया आघाडीच्या बैठकीला आपण जाताय, काय प्रमुख मुद्दे असतील, सरकार स्थापन होईल का?
मला वाटतं आदरणीय शिवसेनेचे पक्षप्रमुख उद्धवजी ठाकरे साहेब यांच्या मार्गदर्शनानुसार आम्ही इथं आलेलो आहोत. आणि आदरणीय शिवसेनेचे आमचे नेते आहेत लोकसभेचे संजय राऊत साहेब यांच्या नेतृत्वाखाली आम्ही त्या बैठकीला जाणार आहे. त्या बैठकीमध्ये आमचं एकच म्हणणं आहे की आम्ही लॉयल आहोत आणि ह्या इंडिया आघाडीवर आम्ही निश्चितपणे तसेच राहणार, जसे होतो तसेच. सत्तेसाठी इकडे तिकडे पळणारी आमची अवलाद नाही, त्याच्यामुळे आम्ही आहोत तसेच राहणार. हा त्यातला आमच्याच दृष्टीने महत्त्वाचा मुद्दा. पुढचा मुद्दा सरकार स्थापनेसाठी काय करणार का, तर ते वरिष्ठ नेते करतायत, त्याला आमची साथ असेल.
म्हटलंय की मला आता उपमुख्यमंत्री पदाच्या जबाबदारीतून मुक्त करा.
त्यांनी जो राजकीय व्यभिचार मांडला त्या राजकीय व्यभिचाराची परिणती आहे. आज त्यांना कळ असेल कपट फार काळ चालत नाही. आणि ते कधीतरी उघडकीस येतं. आज त्याचे चटके त्यानं स्वतःला दाहकपणे करायला 45+, 45+. ते दुसरे पण आहेत बोल का, त्या दुसऱ्यांचं येत नाही आहे नाव, शांत आहेत वाटतं, लपलेत कुठेतरी. 18च्या वर जर विकास आघाडीची माणसं तुम्ही राजीनामा राजकारण सोडून देईन, त्यांना पण जरा विचारून घ्या ना, तुम्ही कधी संन्यास घेताय. आता वाट पाहते जनता तुमच्या संन्यासाची. अहंकाराने डबडबलेली लोक आहेत ती. आणि जो राजकीय व्यभिचार, सामाजिक व्यभिचार, वैचारिक व्यभिचार आणि आर्थिक व्यभिचार शब्द वापरतोय बरं मी, भ्रष्टाचार नाही म्हणत आहे, व्यभिचार. लॉन्ड्री ही व्यभिचाराचं प्रतीक आहे. असा वैचारिक व्यभिचार ज्याच्या अधिष्ठानं उभा राहिला त्याचं एक प्रतीक म्हणजे देवेंद्र फडणवीस. पण ते नव्हे, त्यांच्या मागे 2 जण आहेत ना, ते कसे चूक लपतील. त्याच्याशिवाय त्यांनी एवढं केलं का? हा व्यभिचार त्यांनी उगाच केला, कोणाच्या तरी सहकार्यच केला ना. आमचाही एक व्यभिचारीच त्यांना भेटला ना. मग हे व्यभिचाराला देणारे म्हणजे मी एक आठवण सांगतो, कसे वंदनीय शिवसेना प्रमुख वागायचे. केशुभाई पटेल भारतीय जनता पक्षाचे गुजरातमधले नेते, ते तिथे त्यांच्या आपसामध्ये भांडणं झाल्यानंतर केशुभाई पटेल
there you have it. Obviously, Maharashtra has been a difficult battle that BJP and Mahayuti have not been able to win against the Mahavikas Aghadi. But I'm going to quickly also bring to my viewers' attention that all these leaders have already arrived. There's M.K. Stalin, who was at the airport. He will soon be arriving for the India Alliance meeting, which is taking place at AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. Omar Abdullah has arrived, Sanjay Raut has arrived, Sharad Pawar, Sitaram Yechuri, Raghav Chadda, Tejashwi Yadav, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Jairam Ramesh, Abhishek Banerjee, Kalpana Soren, Sanjay Singh, Dipankar Bhattacharya, Devraj, and Congress leader Nasir Hussain and Muslim League leader Siyabali Tangar have all arrived at the residence. Is Anand with us right now? Anand, coming to you now, there are a number of these leaders. The NDA Alliance meeting has just about gotten over. Now we get to know that the India Alliance meeting is taking place at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. It's soon to start. All these leaders have started coming in.
Yes, several of the leaders from the India bloc have already arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, that is 10 Rajaji Marg, including Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, who has just arrived right now. Before him, NC leader Omar Abdullah, who is former chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir, he has arrived. Tejashwi Yadav, the former deputy chief minister of Bihar, and also the RJD leader had arrived. And even
right behind you, you are at the Mallikarjun Kharge's residence, and there you see the man of the hour, Akhilesh Yadav. He has arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge. So give us these details. Now in alliance, Shivpal Yadav, who at one point in time had strained ties with Akhilesh Yadav, and Mulayam Singh Yadav is also by his side.
Yeah, Akhilesh Yadav has arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, and today he is here to deal with all the pressures that his father was unable to take on with the Congress-led alliance. But now, as he is in a steering seat and in command in Uttar Pradesh, where he has got his party to a thumping majority on 37 seats, and he has won 37 seats from the Crucial state, and with the Congress getting around 6 seats in the state. So, Akhilesh Yadav is in a commanding position with Shivpal Yadav, who is his uncle and with whom he has shared strained ties for the last few years. But after the death of his father, Mulayam Singh Yadav, a former union minister and a stalwart, and also the founder of the Samajwadi Party, so he has now bended his way, and he has got all the things correct in his path, so that he can take on the other alliance and other parties in the state. So this is really going to help Akhilesh Yadav, and he is now here at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge.
The celebrations over there, of course, India Alliance has performed better than expected. There is cheer, there is hopefulness, there is encouraging signs that are being seen, as have been reported by a number of these leaders who've come out together. and at this point I'm holding that India Alliance meeting. What else? Which are the other leaders? Do we have any other leaders that remain to arrive at the Kharge's residence? What time is this meeting supposed to be held?
Yeah, DMK leader M.K. Stalin, who is also the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, is yet to arrive at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge. And as I can ask my camera person to pan and show that how the party supporters of Samajwadi Party as well as Congress leaders, Congress party workers are in very jubilant mood at the residence of Kharge, where several of the top leaders of the India bloc have already arrived, and there are dhols and nagaras that is being played outside the residence of Kharge, and there are several of the party workers who are dancing to the tunes of these dhols and nagaras. So these are the visuals that we are bringing from the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, as several of the India bloc leaders have already arrived. But DMK chief and Tamil Nadu chief minister M.K. Stalin, who has arrived in the national capital, is yet to arrive at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, where they will be discussing the future course of the India bloc that will be taking place today. Back to you, Megha.
Okay, all right. So those are updates, and I'll keep coming back to you, Anand. Also on the telecast with me is Manohar Kesri, who is right now outside the residence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That meeting has just about concluded. Visuals on your screens of this meeting, where there is this chit-chat, friendly chit-chat that is happening between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the rest of the leaders of the NDA alliance. Key amongst them, of course, being Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. I also have my panelists right now, and let's get in a word from them. And Chandni, while there is a show of strength that is also being projected by the India Alliance members, there is a meeting that has been held, that is going to be held at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. There is celebration and an atmosphere of jubilance that the party workers are at this point celebrating.
So Megha, let them celebrate. It's a short span of celebration because as the corporation and assembly elections would start appearing, we would see how this alliance would crumble, like a pile of cards, because this alliance was formed, as I said, only with one intention, and that was to defeat Narendra Modi, not let him become the Prime Minister. That mission of them, they failed miserably. All right. So this alliance is going to, crumble, as I said. And I have got to know that Uddhav Thackeray is not attending this meeting at Khargeji's house. So I see that there is already some.
But there
cracks.
are representative of Uddhav Thackeray faction coming over there. Sanjay Roth is over there. So
Stalin has come down from south. He has flown down from southern part of the India. I mean, Uddhav Thackeray could have definitely come. But as I said, these are the small cracks that, start happening. It won't just fall down drastically. It will start very slowly, gradually. But you will see this alliance going out very soon.
Okay, all right. George Kurian back on the telecast with me. And Mr. Kurian, now India Alliance meeting. The NDA meeting has just gotten over. India Alliance meeting going to be held. Again, the focus is going to be, what is it that the agenda of India Alliance members is going to be? There are going to be assembly elections taking place in several of these states where these India Alliance members are important factors to count in.
To your audience, as I said, all depends upon how the BJP is going to be able to live up to the expectations and demand of TDP and JDU in the coming days. Having said that, I really have complete sympathy for those who are supporting the Bharatiya Janata Party and NDA. We all have learned how the number speaks for itself as the results are out. We have seen from 303, the Bharatiya Janata Party has decimated to 240, which is a big slide. And with respect to the Congress Party, from 50, we have touched 99. So it speaks for itself. The mandate is for the India Alliance and the Congress Party to form the government. But having said that, as we don't have the numbers of 272, we will be a strong opposition in the parliament, and we will live up to the expectations of the people. At
I want
large.
to understand, George, what is it? So again, that's what I'm saying. What is the agenda that is going to be of the India alliance? Now, you're going to be sitting in opposition. Your leader of opposition is going to be from the Congress. So what are these key points that are you going to raise?
Well, as I said, for us, what matters is, let me reiterate for the benefit of your audience, we may have not won the battle, but we have won the war. For
and
us,
that's what you keep saying.
Or I will keep saying that because it is important for me to let our audience know, and your audience know, that for us, for safeguarding the constitution and democracy was of prior importance, and also reservation. So this is what, it's a ideological war between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress Party. It's a war of divisive agenda. So we want to ensure that, and we have ensured that, we are successful in holding and stopping Narendra Modi from forming the government on their own. So they have to depend on the allies. So it's not going to be easy for Modi 3.0, as you keep mentioning. It's not going to be easy as 2019 or, for that matter, 2014. So now the things have changed. The equations have completely changed. We're happy about it.
Let's bring our focus to the NDA group meeting that is held today, and we're getting to know that there has been a unanimous support that has been shown to the Prime Minister, to the BJP, to form the government by the NDA. So that's in fact the letter. If we can put out that letter in front of our screens, where the letter has now been given, the letter of support that has been given to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP to form the government, which is going to be an NDA government, and this government will be formed before 16th of June, because 16th of June is when the 17th Lok Sabha dissolves. Do we have a reporter? If we have Manohar Kesari with us? Okay. I'm just going to list out the NDA group list that attended the meeting. It is Narendra Modi, JP Nadda, Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, Chandrababu Naidu, Nitish Kumar, Eknath Shinde, HD Kumaraswamy, Chirag Paswan, Jitin Ram Manji, Pawan Kalyan, Sunil Tatkare, Anupriya Patel, Jayant Chaudhary, Praful Patel, Pramod Boro, Atul Bora, Indra Hang Subba, Suresh Mahato, Rajiv Rajar Singh and Sanjay Jha. So these are the 21 people from the different political parties that were part of the NDA group meeting. In fact, this is the list of if we can in fact also put out on our screens the unanimous united show of support to the NDA, to the BJP, to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to go and stake claim and form the government for the third time around. All right, Anand, back to you. Now we're getting to know that the DMK chief and the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, has already now arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and DMK Chief M.K. Stalin has just now arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, where the meeting of India bloc leaders is all set to take place. And just after M.K. Stalin arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, even Jharkhand Chief Minister Champai Soren, who is also one of the India bloc partners, that is the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, he also arrived at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge. And earlier, before Champai Soren, it was Kalpana Soren, who is the wife of former Jharkhand Chief Minister and also the leader of JMM, had also arrived for the meeting. So now all the leaders will be discussing their future course and they will be deciding on the strategy, as the NDA bloc leaders have already given their support to the Prime Minister. So in this case now all the India bloc leaders will decide that how they need to take on the new government that will be coming at the center, and how they need to deal with the Narendra Modi government 3.0 in the parliament, as they have earlier alleged that in the parliament all the bills were bulldozed. So they will be preparing a proper strategy in the meeting, that how they need to take on the BJP and the NDA in the parliament, as the BJP is not in complete majority, and it is there with the support of its alliance partners at the center. So all these things will be discussed at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, where all the top leaders of the India bloc are present. Back to you, Megha.
And we also saw visuals on our screens right now of Mallikarjun Kharge himself, who has come out and he is waving at the media. Optics very important at this time, and like I said, all the important leaders of India Alliance are gathered over here. So this is a massive show of strength. Of course, the agenda for the India Alliance for the forthcoming 5 years is going to be decided in this gathering. Right from Aam Aadmi Party to the TMC to the DMK, from the JMM, they are all present over there. RJD, of course, we have Tejashwi Yadav, who's over there. There you have it, Kalpana Soren. She's the wife of the jailed Hemant Soren, who's also arrived at the meeting. So this is once again a show of strength of the India Alliance members, who have been able to garner 234 of those seats. Congress on its own has been able to get 99. And there have been some important key players, including the DMK, but most importantly, Samajwadi Party's Akhilesh Yadav, who have been able to get the votes and get the tally of the India Alliance to 234. It's still about 30 to 40 seats short of the majority mark, which is 272. Raja Lakshmi Joshi, how do you view at this point of time, a common minimum program that will have to be brought in by the NDA now that this is a coalition government?
Good evening, Megha. The NDA partners, they have definitely had an experience of working with each other, and they're ideologically aligned. So it is not as if they have to make too many differences or too many compromises. So of course there will have to be a lot of adjustments, and there will definitely be a lot of terms and conditions, etc. But I would say that comparatively it is going to be much easier because I think I was telling you earlier that Mr. Chandrababu Naidu and PM Modi, they are both their vision, especially on the economics front or about digitalization, all of that, they are actually aligned, and even ideologically also they are aligned. So whatever they may be looking at, whatever Chandrababu Naidu also is talking about Amravati, or even the special status that he is talking about, I think that they can discuss about it even for Bihar also. I don't think that is too much unreasonable, but then yes, they will have to discuss all the terms and conditions. So that is not something that is unachievable or at total loggerheads. So I think that is something achievable, and they have definitely discussed it even before getting into the alliance. So they have had this pre-poll alliance, and that is why they have realized, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu as well as Mr. Nitish Kumar, that they definitely have a lot to gain from this alliance, and they did experience it, and they have understood. See, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, who was totally almost out of the picture in Andhra Pradesh, he has completely come back to power. So, and he has also acknowledged that it is because of his alliance. So I think that the alliance has worked extremely well. Even Mr. Pawan Kalyan also has acknowledged it. So all of them, they definitely have some expectations out of it. And obviously, everyone will have some expectations, and but I'm sure that it will be a lot more easier. Now, I just wanted to also, just put some facts straight that, there is this constant talk about how the BJP has been completely, they have not been given the mandate, and how the Congress has been given the mandate. See, the thing is that the Congress has always been thinking that they have some other terms and conditions, they follow some other rules, and then the BJP is expected to follow some other rules. So for the Congress, getting a number of, say, maybe 145 or say a 200 or even a 99, according to them, is something that they are expected to be in power, because they are born to be in power. That is what they think. So, and the BJP, and especially with the, Modi ji, he is expected to get nothing less than 300, and only then and then you can say that he has been given a mandate. So there are different rules that apply to the Congress and different rules that apply to the BJP.
Okay,
So that is
all
how
right.
they
Let's
have been looking at
okay,
it.
fair enough. Let me get in. I have with me Dr. Piyush Joshi, political analyst, and Dr. Joshi. My question, of course, being a common minimum program that have to be brought up by the NDA for a coalition government that then takes up the next 5 years of governing the country.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting times ahead, and definitely there is no doubt that the NDA is going to form the government. Despite my lack of affinity for that particular alliance, nevertheless, the mandate has been given to NDA, though the mandate has not been given to the Prime Minister Modi. It is going to be a coalition government. The Prime Minister is a strong leader, there is no doubt about it, but he is in a weak position because it's a coalition government and he is not going to be as assertive and as dictatorial as he used to be. There are going to be checks and balances. There are going to be checks and balances when he is misusing the agencies, when he is misusing the institution, when he is trying to influence the pillars of democracy. So that is one good thing. These election results are interesting in one way that it's a partial victory for both. Partial victory for both because the NDA, particularly the BJP, wanted a clear majority, maybe in excess of 300. They haven't got it. The Congress has got enough to be in a very, very powerful role. The India alliance certainly is going to be a very strong opposition now. So common minimum program, when I look at it, Nitish Kumar has always been for the caste-based census. And the Prime Minister has vehemently opposed the caste-based census day in, day out.
Yeah,
so
because
what is he going to do?
That's also because what Tejashwi Yadav has now come out and spoken that that Nitish Kumar, if he's part of the NDA, he must definitely demand from the Prime Minister for a caste-based census. All right. Right now, we're also getting information. The India Alliance meeting has begun at last. All those leaders from India Alliance are part of that meeting. They have all arrived. Anand, the meeting has begun. How long do we anticipate the meeting is going to last?
Just now, the India bloc meeting has begun at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, and it is expected that the meeting is going to last for around 1 or 1.5 hours, as all the leaders will be discussing their future strategy and how they need to take on the Narendra Modi government 3.0 in parliament, and what all are the issues that's on their agenda to take on the Modi government at the center once it takes oath on June 8, as it is suggested by the sources. So these all points the leaders of the India bloc will be discussing at the residence of Kharge, where several of the top leaders of the India bloc are present, including Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, Akhilesh Yadav, Tejashwi Yadav, MP Stalin, Sharad Pawar, and several others. So this is how future strategy of the India bloc is being discussed, and we would like to remind that in Parliament earlier, the Congress and several of the opposition leaders have alleged that they were not being allowed to speak, and most of the bills were being passed without having a debate. So these all points will come up for discussion at the residence of Mallikarjun Kharge, who all are meeting currently, and in a short while after the meeting gets over, we would be informed by the several leaders of India bloc that what are the points they discussed during the meeting. Back to you, Megha.
All right. In fact, our sources are right now telling us, switching back to the NDA camp, where after the meeting with the NDA MPs on 7th of June, all the allies will be meeting the president, and the time given to meet the president on 7th of June is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So this is about 48 hours from now that there is going to be, as per sources, after NDA MPs meet on the 7th of June, all the allies will be meeting the President Draupadi Murmu, and the time allotted by President Draupadi Murmu to meet the NDA allies is going to be from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And now, as per sources, we are getting to know that on 7th of June, all the NDA alliance members and leaders are going to be meeting Draupadi Murmu, and this meeting has been scheduled for 7th of June between 5 and 7 p.m.
Yeah, just after the meeting of the NDA allies partner ended at the residence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as per sources we are getting the information that on 7th of June, first of all the NDA allies partner and their leaders will be meeting in the national capital, and after that they will be going to the Rashtrapati Bhavan where they have been allotted the time between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So it is now quite very clear that Narendra Modi will be going to stake claim along with the NDA allies partner to President Draupadi Murmu, and then oath-taking ceremony will be decided. But as per sources are concerned, they have also said that the oath-taking ceremony for the new government will take place on 8th of June. So it is quite clear now that before going to the President, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be taking all of his NDA ally partner to the President itself, and so that he can show the support of the NDA alliance partner to the President. So now it is very evident that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to form the third consecutive term of government for the NDA at the centre. Back to you.
Okay, I'm going to come back to Chandni. Chandni, we're getting to know now by 7th is when the NDA allies are going to meet. So can it be anticipated by 7th or 8th is the date when Prime Minister Narendra Modi swears in, takes oath as the Prime Minister for the third term on 2024?
He would be sworn in as the third, as the Prime Minister for the third consecutive terms. And as we are speaking, I've also got to know that 7 independents and 3 parties with 1 seat each have already announced support to BJP and to Narendra Modi, and they are saying that they want PM Narendra Modi to lead India and take the country forward with mega reforms and with a stable government.
Right. There is, this meeting has ended. There is this picture that has been shared by the Prime Minister's office, and there you have it, all the leaders in front of your screens. And right at the center, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is flanked by Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar on one side. On the other side, you have JP Nadda and Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah and the JDS leader HD Kumaraswamy. There is also Eknath Shinde and Praful Patel and Jitin Ram Manji and all the other leaders. Chirag Paswan, we see Jayant Chaudhary. We've also seen Pawan Kalyan, and they all come together. This is the alliance that is going to form the government in 2024. This is the 8th Lok Sabha that is going to be built by these important leaders. All right, let's continue our conversation. And yes, Chandni, we were talking about how, yes, we've already spoken about, yes, it is a victory. A victory is a victory. Yes, NDA has won. Yes, they are going to be taking claim and forming government. Nobody is refuting it. But the point of question right now, and I want to focus on this specifically, is about the government formation, about the cabinet, about the ministries that are going to be shared between the NDA, between the TDP, and of course, we have Nitish Kumar and JDU and other smaller parties.
Yes, so as I was saying that NDA is going to form government, I was just giving a piece of information that, already
yes,
7
it's clear. Yes, there's already a support that has been shown officially. The time has been given by Draupadi Murmu today at 7:30 p.m. Prime Minister, along with his JDU and TDP allies, are going to be headed over there, and they are going to be giving a letter of support.
Yes, and as your question poses, the government would be formed. I've said this earlier that this is a collective win of the NDA. It doesn't matter if you won 303. In 2019 you've gotten a lesser seats. That's fine. It's for the for the party to introspect. They will introspect. They will bounce back. Even more harder. That's not the point. The point is it's a collective win. It was a collective win in 2014. 2014. It was a collective win in 2019. It is a collective win in 2024 as well. There was, the alliance was given ministries in 2014. The alliance was given ministry in 2019, and the same way the alliance will be given ministries in 2024 as well. This, as I said, a collective win, a collective responsibility for everybody. This
Okay,
is
great.
everybody's.
Great.
Yes.
And that has been echoed enough in the last 48 hours. All right. Dr. Piyush Joshi, again the cabinet formation, and again we keep coming back to the point that there are these 28 crucial seats that combined with the TDP and the JDU, combined 28 seats, and those are crucial for the BJP to form the government. It is now a reality. Despite the number of speculations that were being made, every single one of them has been put aside because this is with a vehement majority that the NDA is coming back to power, and there are no two ways about it. But now the negotiation starts. One meeting has already happened. The second one is going to happen on the 7th, when after the meeting that completes between the NDA allies, Draupadi Murmu is going to be meeting them between 5 and 7 p.m. So these are the deliberations and the negotiations, and the bargaining is the time when these leaders can demand the chunk of the pie.
Absolutely, it is their time to demand the pound of the flesh. You see, you rightly pointed out, Megha, that we have seen this word or we have heard this word collective so many times in the last 48 hours. We did not hear that word so often in last 10 years. So, and there is an old saying that there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. So, an interesting thing, the NDA demanding time on 7th of June. Waiting for 2 days. If it is the NDA or if it is the BJP of Modi that we know, they would have rushed to the Rashtrapati Bhavan today itself.
But they are today at 7:30 p.m. It is Amit Shah, Prime Minister Modi,
absolutely,
Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. They are heading to the President's residence today at 7:30 p.m. That's confirmed news by my reporter.
Right, but these 2 days are the days of bargaining that they are going to indulge into, and that is where this government, any coalition government for that matter, forget about this government, fall short of the stability. There is always that threadbare status that the government can fall any particular day, because Nitish Kumar has always been Palturam, as we have already seen so many times. So that is going to be a big problem. But there is another challenge. Then that challenge is before the India alliance. The big challenge is that how are they going to keep their flock together? How are they going to form their common minimum program? And how are they going to be a constructive and a strong opposition? Because we have seen the differences of opinion on many occasions. So challenges are there for both the alliances. Interesting times ahead in Indian politics. One, I would say, is which is good for democracy as such, because checks and balances are very important, and absolute power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the Prime Minister has been enjoying absolute power for last 10 years. And that has led to absolute corruption and crony capitalism in the ranks of the government. So these checks and balances are good both ways on both sides. But
also, let us not kid ourselves that that it is the NDA that has gotten votes, and it's not just that they are at the 272 or 273 or 274 mark. They have not won this election by just 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 seats. They have won this election by over 40 seats. So it's a huge margin. And talking about how there are coalition governments that have been run successfully in the past as well, and the biggest example has to be the Manmohan Singh government that not just lasted for 1 term, it lasted for 2 terms. So 10 years there was a coalition government and it ran smoothly. So there you have it as an example of a government with a number of allies and functioning well in cohesion with each other. Back to George Kurian, and George Kurian, again, like Dr. Piyush Joshi was talking about how there needs to be a common minimum program. There has to be an agenda. Your leader, Rahul Gandhi, most likely is going to be leader of opposition. Am I right or wrong? And what are the issues? What are the agenda points that will be taken up as part of the India Alliance member? And does India Alliance actually exist after the results are out?
Megha, now since the elections are over, the results are out, I would request you to call it India Alliance, India Bloc, whichever way you like it. It's time
It's
for
not
you to
India.
not corner.
It's not India.
corner
The A in India is alliance.
Anyway, keeping
I
that
don't
aside,
know. We've gone
let
through
me-
this again and again.
let
Correct,
me-
Chandni,
let
it
me-
doesn't make any
let
sense.
me-
It doesn't merit any sort of a discussion. Okay, fine, sir. India
Megha,
Alliance
let
or India Bloc, whichever way you want to call it, I don't mind. It's fine. It's fine by me. It's fine by anybody.
The nation has given, they have used their wisdom and given their verdict, so I'm happy about that. Any which ways, having said that, we are confident and we are happy about the fact that BJP is not in the commanding position as of 2014 or 2019. That is one thing that we are satisfied about. As far as the Congress party is concerned, we are happy about our tally, although we may have have our shortfalls in few states. Having said that, be it Uttar Pradesh or be it Rajasthan, coming from down south in the southern states and Maharashtra as well, we have performed very well. And also our alliance partners. Our agenda is clear. We are trying to work for the larger interests of the people at large, safeguarding the interests of the nation, the constitution, the democracy, and we will play an important role as a strong opposition. That is what our role is. It's not in our nature and character to break any pre-poll alliance, so we will stay away from that. We have left it to the TDP and the Nitish Kumar JDU to take a call on this. They will have the discussions and they will come to a consensus. If something doesn't work out, they are free to come to on our side. Our doors are open for them. Otherwise, we are more than happy to be a strong opposition and work in the larger interest of the people.
Okay. The statement you make of it is not in the nature of India Alliance or the Congress to break coalitions is not true, as we have seen the example in Maharashtra. There have been examples in Karnataka. So let's not play the moral high ground that you are pitching yourself to be at. Raja Lakshmi Joshi, quickly a response from you about the roles both sides are going to play. It is the NDA that is going to form the government. There has to be a common minimum program that the NDA also has to bring about. Now that it has to accommodate two parties particularly that have helped NDA get the win.
Yes, Megha. And, I just want to reiterate one fact that after 2 terms in government, after 10 years, there is this one political party which has got 240 seats. So I don't think that anybody should make less of it. And that also that there was a pre-poll alliance. So the mark to be crossed is 272 and the BJP has got 290, the NDA. So I don't understand this thing about how and why this it should be discussed again and again, and it should be talked about as some kind of a moral kind of an issue about any of this, because all of these alliance partners together, if they could not cross even that the number of seats of one political party, I mean after that also after 10 years. That speaks a lot about how the public views those political parties. And another thing is that I just want to remind who has actually started this case against Mr. Lalu Yadav. It was the Congress. Who put Shibu Soren into jail? It was the Congress. Who put up all the cases against all the South the DMK leaders? It was the Congress. Who has put up the cases against the Aam Aadmi Party? The Congress has had a press conference talking about all
it works both ways. No, when we talk about a number of cases that were against Ajit Pawar and other NCP leaders, they were cleared of their charges, and now they're part of the NDA. Now they're part of the BJP's alliance. So let's not play that argument, because it is not going to augur well for the BJP as well if you come up with that argument. Meanwhile,
the point I was just allow me to speak. the point I was trying to make is, it is not as if, the BJP has been targeting some political parties. I'm saying that the Congress also has been doing this. In Kerala also, the Congress has put up a case against Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan's daughter. So, every political party is going to actually find out if there is any problem in any political party, they are going to complain. So they cannot keep saying that the BJP is doing this. So that is something that they talk about, how Mr. Modi is a tyrant, he's an autocrat, and he keeps using ED. So the Congress has also used the ED. They have also done all of this. They have put up all these cases. So they cannot take this high moral ground and keep talking about all these issues all the time. So, and the public has given them a mandate, so they are going to make good use of it. And
of course, work on the correctives of what happened. Why could they not get the target of crossing the majority mark for the BJP? And of course, they have 5 years to once again improve on the problems and the loopholes that they feel they have in a bid to fight another game for after the next 5 years, and perhaps come victorious or not. It again depends. It's a period of 5 years. Meanwhile, joining me on the telecast back is Anand. And Anand, okay, Manohar is on the telecast with me. And Manohar, there has been a unanimous decision made by the NDA leaders. The meeting has gotten over. They have released this letter, and they have all come united in support of the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi to make the government, to form the government Modi 3.0.
देखिए, बिल्कुल जब एनडीए की बैठक हो रही थी तो उनमें तमाम जो एनडीए के घटक दल हैं उन सब ने एक प्रपोजल को पास किया। अगर मैं प्रपोजल की बात करूं तो उसमें साफ तौर से लिखा हुआ है कि भारत के 140 करोड़ देशवासियों ने पिछले 10 सालों में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में एनडीए सरकार की जो जन कल्याणकारी नीतियां हैं उसे देश के हर क्षेत्र में विकसित होते देखा है। और बहुत लंबे अंतराल तक, लगभग 6 दशक के बाद भारत की जनता ने लगातार तीसरी बार बहुमत के साथ जो है सो एनडीए को सशक्त नेतृत्व के रूप में चुना है। ये बात इसमें
ओके।
How was the meeting, sir?
Good.
And sir, what about portfolios?
Sir, anything? So what are the demands? Sir, any portfolio?
I will talk to you after.
All right, so that's Chandrababu Naidu. The meeting has gotten over, and of course he's tight-lipped about what were the demands of the TDP during that meeting that was held between the Prime Minister and the rest of the NDA allies. So Manohar, यहाँ पे देखा जा रहा है कि obviously उनसे यही पहला सवाल किया गया है कि टीडीपी की क्या डिमांड रही, टीडीपी ने क्या कोई पोर्टफोलियोज मांगे, जिसपे चंद्रबाबू नायडू ने चुप्पी साधी है, पर उन्होंने कहा है कि ये मीटिंग बहुत अच्छी गई है।
देखिए, बिल्कुल इस पे चंद्रबाबू नायडू कुछ भी कहने से बचते नजर आए, लेकिन अगर आप उनका गेस्चर देखें, गेस्चर में साफ तौर से पता चल रहा है, उनकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज से पता चल रहा है कि बात बन गई है, फॉर्मूला तय है। हालांकि 7 जून को जब संसदीय दल की बैठक एनडीए की होगी पार्लियामेंट के सेंट्रल हॉल में, उसके बाद तमाम दलों के नेता जो हैं सो राष्ट्रपति के पास जाएंगे और दावा पेश करेंगे सरकार बनाने का, क्योंकि जाना था प्रधानमंत्री को, लेकिन पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा हैं तो वो साथ में जाएंगे। लेकिन अब इंतज़ार करना पड़ेगा 7 जून का, और उसके बाद पिक्चर और क्लियर हो पाएगी। लेकिन एक बात तो साफ है कि आज जब एनडीए की बैठक हुई तो उसमें प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी सभी लोगों से जिस तरह से बातचीत कर रहे थे, और इस प्रपोजल में क्लियर है कि एनडीए ने जिस प्रकार से जन कल्याणकारी नीतियों को लागू किया, देश को विकसित देश की राह पर आगे बढ़ाने का काम जो कर रहे हैं, इसे लेकर के वो और आगे बढ़ेंगे, इकोनॉमिक को आगे बढ़ाएंगे, और जनता से जो संसदीय दल के सांसद होंगे या नेता होंगे उनसे पीएम खुद रूबरू होंगे। सरकार की 3.0 की क्या आगे का रोड मैप है उसे लेकर के वो बताएंगे, और उसके बाद सरकार बनाने का दावा पेश
प्राइम मिनिस्टर हमारे पास एक खबर आई थी कि जब मीटिंग चल रही थी 11:30 बजे के करीब कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर्स के साथ, उनके की मेंबर्स के साथ, आपने सही कहा कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने ये बात ज़रूर रखी कि हमारी जो इकोनॉमी है उसको और आगे बढ़ाएंगे, जीडीपी 8.4 से उसको 10% बनाएंगे और देश की उन्नति के लिए काम करेंगे। पर यहाँ पे मनोहर इस बारे में भी आप कुछ इसमें कुछ लाइट पुट सम लाइट टू इट। यहाँ पे जो अभी जो 7:30 बजे की मीटिंग द्रौपदी मुर्मू द्वारा साथ में जो हो रही है, हमारे जो एनडीए अलायंस के मेंबर्स प्राइम मिनिस्टर के साथ जा रहे हैं, वो आज 7:30 बजे होगी। वहाँ पे लेटर ऑफ सपोर्ट दिया जाएगा, वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट बनाने का दावा भी रखा जाएगा और उसके बाद 48 आवर्स के बाद ये जो 7 जून को जो दोबारा एनडीए अलायंस की मीटिंग होगी और उसके बाद दोबारा प्रेसिडेंट मुर्मू के साथ जो डिस्कशन होगा उनका 5 बजे से 7 बजे, इसका तात्पर्य क्या है, इसका महत्व क्या है?
देखिए मेघा, अभी पिक्चर थोड़ी और क्लियर होनी बाकी है, क्योंकि पहले खबर आ रही थी कि आज ही दावा पेश किया जा सकता है, लेकिन अब खबर ये आ रही है कि 7 जून को जब एनडीए के संसदीय दल की बैठक होगी उसके बाद जो है सो शाम में 5 बजे से 7 बजे तक उसके बाद दावा पेश किया जा सकता है। तो अभी जब तक औपचारिक ऐलान नहीं हो जाता तो ये सोर्सेज के हवाले से चल रहा है। और रात में 8 बजे राष्ट्रपति द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने पुरानी सरकार को विदाई के तौर पर डिनर पार्टी दे रही हैं। उसमें सबकी मुलाकात होगी, उसमें चर्चा होगी और आगे की बातचीत होगी। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने रोड मैप सरकार बनाने के लिए तैयार कर चुके हैं कि मोदी एक बार फिर सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं, मोदी हैट्रिक लगाने जा रहे हैं। और इसका रोड मैप, क्योंकि वो जो उन्होंने 100 डेज के एजेंडा की बात कर रहे थे, लेकिन अब सबसे बड़ी बात है कि अब बीजेपी को पूर्ण बहुमत नहीं है लेकिन पूर्ण एनडीए को बहुमत है और ऐसी स्थिति में थोड़ा वक्त लगेगा, इंतजार करना पड़ेगा। जहां तक पोर्टफोलियो का सवाल है, जो सूत्र बतला रहे हैं कि चंद्रबाबू नायडू चाहते हैं कि उनके 16 सांसद जीत करके आए हैं तो उन्हें कैबिनेट में 4 मंत्री पद दिया जाए। वहीं नीतीश कुमार भी चाह रहे हैं कि बिहार को एक स्पेशल राज्य का दर्जा या स्पेशल पैकेज दिया जाए। उसके बाद 4 उन्हें भी कैबिनेट में मंत्री पद का दर्जा दिया जाए। चिराग पासवान चाह रहे हैं एक मंत्री और एक कैबिनेट और एक एमओएस। वहीं पर आसू लगातार झारखंड में जो है सो बीजेपी का अहम पार्टनर रहा है और ऐसी स्थिति में इस बार भी उसके एक सांसद जीत करके आए हैं और वही सांसद गिरिडीह से जीत कर आए जो 2019 में जीते थे, तो वो भी चाहते हैं और उन्हें भी दिया जाए। और सबसे बड़ी बात है नीतीश कुमार को लेकर के, क्योंकि नीतीश कुमार आज जब पटना से आ रहे थे तो तेजस्वी यादव के साथ फ्लाइट में एक ही साथ बैठे थे। पहले तो आगे पीछे सीट में बैठे थे, लेकिन फिर आमने सामने आगे बिजनेस क्लास में, और काफ़ी उन दोनों के बीच बातचीत हुई है। क्या बातचीत हुई है ये खुलासा अभी नहीं हो पाया है, लेकिन जो नीतीश कुमार का अब तक का नेचर रहा है, हालांकि चिराग पासवान कह चुके हैं कि नीतीश कुमार जो है सो एनडीए का अहम हिस्सा है और आज नीतीश कुमार जो है सो एनडीए की बैठक में मौजूद थे। प्रधानमंत्री और उनकी बातचीत साफ तौर से आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से मुस्कुराते हुए बातचीत हुई है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने अपने आवास में उनके गर्मजोशी से स्वागत भी किया है। तो अब इंतजार 7 जून का है।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.